let success mend self-esteem and give perspective to achievement. Bless as well those who have supported them in their work, in the classroom, at home, and on the way. Teachers who have given of themselves in ways that will only be understood with the passage of time. Families who have sacrificed much. Friends who learned from them and taught them as only peers can.
Make us ever mindful of those on whose shoulders we stand, as well as those who follow our path. Even as we celebrate accomplishment and transition, we may continue to seek wisdom. For all of these graduates and the families of which they are a part, we ask that they may make a significant contribution to the general welfare of society. May they especially be a blessing to those whose lives they personally touch. Thank you. Would you please be seated?
Good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to Steward School's 2020 commencement ceremony. We got here at last. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause, if nothing else. We are gathered here to witness and recognize the significant contributions and achievements of the class of 2020, who will shortly join the ranks of proud alumni. The class of 2020 is comprised of 75 very resilient students, a diverse class of thinkers and doers. This is a group of young men and women that will be entering many of the nation's top universities with merit scholarship awards of over $6 million. This is an all-time high for a Steward senior class. To the parents and families who are here, no doubt you are reflecting on where the time went between kindergarten and today. A flood of wonderful memories appear. The class of 2020 is here today with heavy assistance from all of you, family, friends, and faculty. We say to you not only welcome, but also thank you. Thanks to each and every one of you. Today is a celebration of hard work, support, and effort from everyone here. I would like to begin the ceremony by asking the President of the class of 2020, Will Iben, to begin the presentations.
Hello, everyone. As the senior class president, I am here today to present the class gift. The other class officers, our class sponsors, Peter Hurley and Jen Wilkerson, and literally hundreds of Chick-fil-A biscuits, have all contributed to the gift we are able to give today. We would first like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the room moms and division parent representatives. We did not get the chance to recognize them in the spring, so we would like to announce that pavers have been purchased on the terrace in their honor. It is now my privilege to present this year's senior class gift to the school. This year, the class of 2020 presents a cash gift toward improving the senior lounge, which will include updated furniture and a brand new senior printing station. Mr. Frank, we hope this gift will benefit all future seniors and remind them of the class of 2020 for many years to come.
Thank you so much, Will. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with us in the heat. Thank you to the class of 2020 for this gift, and I'm sure there's no reason that you needed to replace anything in the lounge whatsoever. As we move to our next speaker, I wanted to note a few changes in today's program. After reading the students' speeches and their topics, the past and the future, we decided to switch the order. We will also be unable to show the senior video due to moving the ceremony outdoors. However, this video was provided to each senior on their commemorative flash drive, along with the baccalaureate program. I would like now to invite our next speaker, Nate Lather, to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nate Lather. First of all, I cannot believe that I'm standing up here. I honestly can't. To be standing before what I think is the greatest class in Steward history is the highest honor, and I thank each and every one of you for the opportunity to speak on this special day. As a new student, and even worse, a freshman, I didn't have too much going for me. I was going to a school in a different county from where I lived. I knew absolutely nobody, and I was beginning to realize that I had no clue why I went here in the first place. In my mind, I had two options: write it out, be friendly, and gradually find my place, or the better option, be super awesome and have everyone love you instantly. If you ask me, one option seems a little more appetizing than the other. Surprisingly enough, though, option 2 worked out pretty well. On my first day, I made such a good impression that all the teachers just decided to give me hundreds on everything. I was named captain of the varsity basketball team. Anton served me a 22-course meal at lunch, and then I drove home in my Lamborghini. It was the perfect first day, until I woke up and joined the rest of the world in reality. Once I actually stepped foot on campus for the first time, I began to realize that deep down, I was nervous and extremely unprepared for the new world I was stepping into. Unfortunately, the way I compensated for my lack of preparation was by being the loudest one in the room early. And what really characterized my overcompensation the most was this nickname I may or may not have forced everyone to call me on the first day of school. Some of you may remember. It's quite a doozy, and it took a lot of thought considering it is based on the greatest rapper of all time. Not Tupac, not Biggie, not Eminem, not anyone you could really think of, but Nate Dogg. To be honest, at Steward, all it takes to fit in is to be yourself, but I did not understand that then. And my God, did it show. On the first day, it was so important to me to make friends quickly, but I think I might have gone a little overboard. Now, I hope nobody here thinks this is one of those sad stories about how I didn't get along with my classmates and my time in high school was miserable, because I was asking for it. And while I'd like to forget every embarrassing thing I did to myself as a freshman, it's the little things like the nickname, Nate Dogg, that bother me the most. Luckily for me, though, I learned over time how to be a little bit more mature when it came to first impressions, and I began to gel with my classmates. As my time in high school passed by, I grew very comfortable with my situation, and now, I don't remember what it feels like to be alone anymore. Just 4 years ago, I was an overconfident freshman, but fast forward to now, and young Nate Dogg is a high school graduate. It's mind-blowing to think that the years have gone by that quickly, but it's even crazier to see how much everyone, including myself, has changed. Now, I could talk for hours about how much this school has done for me, but I think it's also important to reflect on why I enrolled at Steward in the first place. My mom gave me the choice to be a part of a school where I could be around other people who strive for success. But I had absolutely zero clue that I'd be surrounded by physical freaks of nature like Noah Nichols and Eric Engelke, the nicest person on the planet, Matt Canner, a world-class hacker like Jack Ball, and the future president of the United States, Sonali Sanjay. Thanks, Mom. Before Steward, I would not consider myself someone who was very applied, but I found out quickly that I had to try a lot harder to keep up with my classmates. I've learned a lot more than a student at an ordinary school would, because I got the opportunity to go to class with so many unique personalities, each of them teaching me a different lesson from the other. For example, Jack taught me that chugging vegetable oil in the senior lounge is not worth the $5. Egan taught me that getting a little crazy with the microwave will get you sent to the office. And Anna taught me that I should always check behind me when I put my car in reverse. While this information may not seem too useful at first, no matter how trivial, a lesson learned is a lesson learned. Because of my wisdom that the classmates and teachers I had shared with me, I've had the opportunity to grow so much over these 4 years, and all of it is owed to each of you and this incredible school. Every once in a while, I'll hear someone complain about Steward, but how could they? When I arrive, I'm greeted by the sweetest woman in the world, Mrs. Healy. My math teacher wears a vampire costume every Halloween, Mr. Sayre, and Mr. Mundy approved toga out for the Friday night basketball game. What is there not to love? Sure, we might have had some bumps along the way, a bad DJ here, a lunch tension there, but it's never stopped me from showing my Spartan pride. When I look back on the time I've spent in this community, I have little to regret or complain about. Though it may be late, we earned this opportunity to be here one last time. Be proud of where you came from, but be prouder of who you are now. Life will throw many obstacles at you with every turn, but we have proved our resilience, and here we are. The future may seem uncertain, but as long as we continue to rely on each other, it is completely in our hands. Be open to change, be open to the ideas of others. It sure did a lot of good for me, and it will for all of you too. I wish the best of luck to each of you, but I'm sure it will not be needed. Congratulations to us, the class of 2020. We did this together. Thank you.
And I would now like to ask our next senior speaker, Sonali Sanjay, to come to stage.
Thank you so much, Nate. That was a very hard act to follow, so I'll try my best. Before I begin, I'd like for us all to take a collective moment of silence to honor the first responders, healthcare workers, and patients who lost their lives to COVID-19, and for the victims of human rights and civil rights violations all around the world. Thank you. And I'm so honored to be able to speak in front of all of you today. So there's this word I learned last year when I was trying to catch up on a week's worth of Membean sessions on Sunday night. I'm sorry, Mr. Hurley, but I also know you're not surprised. The word is Zeitgeist. It's derived from German, and it means the defining attitudes of the era, or the spirit of the age. Zeitgeist. It's kind of a weird word. Sounds like the title of some sort of warped science fiction novel, which, you know, either way is a pretty perfect representation of the current state of our world. But, all jokes aside, it got me thinking. What is our zeitgeist? What is the spirit of our age? What are history books going to write about us? What is our generation going to let ourselves be defined by? Over the past few months, I've been experiencing something I think each and every one of you sitting here has felt as well. It's this overwhelming sense of responsibility. I feel its presence with every headline, every newspaper article, and every social media post. It's a call to action, a voice in our heads that demands our attention to the injustices going on in this world, and to the issues that our society has rendered invisible because we refuse to open our eyes. My classmates and I, we've inherited this society. We're the next in line, ready to claim our stake of change. We get to decide our narrative, we get to write history, we get to cast our ballots, and we get to break barriers. And it's all happening for a reason. Think about it this way. Every circumstance, every decision, every assembly, every stop sign and green light, every lunch detention for being late, which I know all too well, everything has led us to this very moment in time, to this literal stage, to this photograph in history. In fact, right now, everyone please just take a second to click a mental snapshot of this moment. Did you do it? Now don't let it go. Put it in a random file cabinet in your brain. Cherish it. When we leave this campus today, we're marking the start of the rest of our lives as citizens of the world, as change makers, as voices for the ones who are voiceless, as human beings with a duty, a mission to serve the greater good, now more than ever. We're the products of the intense sacrifices that our parents and guardians have made, of the lessons that our teachers and administration have taught us, and of the friends and memories that have shaped us. Our future is not only where we're going, but it's also everywhere we've been. We're all going to amazing colleges. We're graduating amidst a pandemic. Class of 2020, we are creating history with every breath we take. The actions we make today will inevitably influence the world we live in tomorrow. It is not enough to be internally hoping for change. We have to be actively creating it. It is not enough to turn our cheek and hope for the best. We have to face it head on. We cannot be spectators or bystanders. We cannot stand behind the curtain, live in the shadows. We cannot stay idle. We have to speak up, influence policy, call out prejudice, have those hard conversations with friends and family, and also remember that hearing other voices doesn't make ours any less important. We have to live our lives so fulfillingly and so boldly that when we look into the mirror, we see someone who inspires us. And then we can inspire somebody else. 2020 has simultaneously been the most convoluted yet eye-opening year. And it's not even over yet. It is not over yet. I've learned that we are going to be primary sources. I've learned that sewing a mask is really hard, and you can't just staple around the stitches, because I've tried that. I've learned that I need to appreciate every day of life that I've been given. And last but not least, I've learned that if anyone is going to finally change this world, it's going to be us. So let's do it. Let's do it to eradicate injustice and prejudice. Let's change the world so that kids never get told that they can't achieve something because of the color of their skin or their circumstances or their family income. Let's do it for our parents and our children and grandchildren. Let's change the world so that every generation that comes after us will see the path that we have paved. I know we're ready. To my classmates, thank you for an incredible 4 years. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for teaching me about myself. I want to tell each and every one of you how wildly powerful you are, and that everything you need to succeed is already within you. Our zeitgeist is you. So I guess that means that the spirit of our age is in pretty good hands. Here's to the future. Congratulations to the class of 2020. It has been an honor. Thank you.
Well, I don't know about you, Mr. Frank, but I'm certainly glad that I don't have to follow those two up with a speech. If we could just have one more round of applause, please, for both Nate and Snarly. And I'm now very excited to recognize a few of our senior award winners. This year, we have 9 seniors who have attended Steward since kindergarten year. We call them lifers. Seniors, I know you've already received an award, but please stand up and be recognized when your name is called. Audience, if we could please hold our applause until I read out all the names. William Scott Iben. Eric Harrison Engolke. Elliot Forrest French. Carter Thomas Morgan Hogan. Anna Riley Kilduff. Olivia Ryan Kerner. Dabney Lane Levity. Caroline Grace Muslow, and Callan Jane Smith. Thank you. You can be seated.
I'm so happy to speak because I can take my mask off. This final award is named in honor, I'm going to put my real glasses on. Hold on. We'll get to the final award. So much better. This final award is named in honor of the late Helen F. Dixon, the founder of the Steward School. The Dixon Award is presented to the member of the senior class who has made outstanding contributions to all phases of life at the Steward School. This isn't the first time that the Steward School has chosen to honor the recipient of this year's Dixon Award. 4 years ago, he was selected as a Debbie Robeson Merit Scholarship recipient, and the qualities that drew us to him then have amplified throughout his years in the upper school. Firstly, he is a scholar. Across the curriculum, he excels in every subject area. His transcript is flawless, and he has achieved headmaster's list consistently with no grade in any course below an A-. Despite the challenges incumbent to taking the most rigorous schedule we offer, this student manages to keep his stress low and his motivation high. He is also a voracious consumer of knowledge, genuinely savoring new ideas and concepts and constantly looking for more. And yet, his pursuit of excellence is not limited to the classroom. He has embraced his membership in the Jewish youth organization BBYO and grown immeasurably from group travel experiences to Argentina, South Africa, and Israel. At Steward, he participated in our school's entrepreneurship program with zeal. When his group's presentation at a pitch fair caught the attention of a local entrepreneur, a nascent idea transformed into an incredible summer internship and a possible pending patent for an automated pill dispenser. Sharing his talents with the entire Steward community in a different area, he has performed in 11 main stage productions with our theater program. However, what makes this student most exceptional is his character. He is compassionate, kind, and unselfish. In spite of his myriad talents, he is neither boastful nor proud. On the contrary, he is exceedingly humble. He celebrates his friends' successes even more than his own, and he is always ready to lend a helping hand. The University of Michigan doesn't know how lucky they are to be welcoming him to their engineering program this fall, but they're about to find out how fortunate we are to be able to call him a Spartan for life. The recipient of this year's Dixon Award is Matthew Alex Cantor. Matthew, please stand and be recognized. Dr. Seldis is leaving the stage because he knows it's now time for my commencement address, and he'd like to be in the shade. I don't blame him. Listen, before I start this, I just want to say I did not know what either Nate or Sonali was going to talk about, and I think when I speak, you will find notes of what they have shared in what I'm about to share as well. The gratitude toward all of you that Nate expressed, and the optimism for a bright future led by each of you, you will also find in the comments that I'm about to share. And by the way, I'm going to go through this quite quickly, and I will not take time to cry. So for those of you who have been to graduations before, that's not happening. One of my greatest pleasures as head of school is watching our youngest and our oldest students interact with each other. The little ones are wild and free in their imaginations, and all of us wish we could preserve that for them, or at least bring it back to life at the times they need it most as they grow. I look at you now, and I see a group sure and confident about what is right, with a clear vision for your future. Relative to your parents and to me, yours is uncluttered by complications, ambiguities, and competing priorities. You can see clearly. Your perceptions are clean. Like the little ones whose wild minds I want to preserve for you, I wish I could preserve the clarity and understanding that fuels your imagination and informs your vision. And then together, through the strength of imagination, creativity, and clarity, you will transform the world into which you are now arriving. The joy I feel at this moment, and I do, is shaded a little bit with sadness. I worry that your experience this spring may have clouded your clear view of the future. If that is true, then the question is, how do you continue to move in the presence of fear toward the unknown in front of you? I can only tell you that real transformation, from now to then, from youth to adult, from child to parent, from a world that is flawed to one that is better, is best achieved only with deliberate effort, courage, and sacrifice. And I know that each of you has these capacities. You each have something within you that helps you to your feet whenever you fall. You might ask me, how do I know? I know because you have shown me again and again in big and small ways. Let me share something about each of you, which has impressed me, from which I have learned, and for which I am grateful. Markayla, I really want to make eye contact, and I'm just not going to be able to do it, and I apologize for that. The sun is directly in my eyes. Markayla, your senior speech was one of the best I have ever heard, and in it you discussed your duality. I think this is only the beginning, and there are depths and talents and purpose yet to come. Strength is defined by you. James Cox. It's the action, it's the grind, it's the persistence. Your hard work, empathy, humor, leadership, and tenacity confirm what is all too rare. You walk your talk. Charlie Fowler. Charlie, when a man knows himself, you can see it, you can feel it. You are one such person. The decisions you make flow from the right spot, and your continued success is ensured. Jack Ball. I'm so impressed by your incredible, restless, self-driven pursuit of innovation combined with your heart and humor. I've prepared my own cover letter, and I hope you'll hire me after you finish college. Reese Richardson. I don't know what it would look like at Steward without you. You work so diligently behind the scenes. It would definitely be radically different, though, without all you have done, and we are much better as a community because of you. Virginia Hopper. Hopper, I've always thought you're the coolest. If I were in high school again, I would be the one trying to be friends with you. And a great friend you are. Kind, loyal, giving, and putting the care of others above yourself. My friend Daniel Corcoran. Daniel, your family has helped to define what it means to be engaged parents, and you have, despite it being so challenging, helped us to define our theater program. Thank you for everything you have done for us. Heath Humphreys. I'm so glad I picked you up as an advisee, Heath. It's not like you were dominating the conversation, but everything you said made me laugh or made me think about something differently. I'm glad that you shared your pigs in a blanket with us over Zoom, and I look forward to continuing to watch you evolve. Jabari Atkinson, your kindness, hard work, and intelligence will continue to lead you to great things. And by none of this, you should be surprised. You are a natural leader, and I know that is in your future. Carolyn Aldridge, you have so many talents, a mathematical mind, independence of thought and spirit, incredible goal-keeping skills. There are so many pathways open to you, and I can't wait to see which one you choose. Eric Engelke, who could not be with us. Eric has incredible levels of excellence, rarely matched by anyone, and mostly done invisibly. He has worked and excelled, driven primarily by his internal compass. This guarantees his ongoing success. Alex Wilkerson. Alex, you turn your back on groupthink, on kindness, drama, and the limelight. With that said, you are deeply conscientious as a friend, an advocate for others, and as an organizer for Special Olympics events. Because of you, both Steward and Greater Richmond are better places to be. Noreen Karam. As a former language teacher, I am so impressed by how many languages you speak. I am equally impressed by your fluency in the languages of friendship and love. You have made life better for many people. Cortland Dranoff. When you came to Steward, you filled us with cheer. Your positive attitude, can-do way of life, and true spirit have made the Steward School a better place for all. Zed Raymond, my special knuckle-bumping buddy. I know how many miles you and your mother have driven in your career commute here. And 30,000 miles in a single year? We discovered this before this started. And I know that it has been your passion for this community that has continued to make the sacrifice worth it for you and your family. You are a complete Spartan. By the way, he forced his family to choose between him and the Steward School. So we won. Thank you. Will Ivan. I think it's possible you see yourself as a wild man between hockey, climbing, and poker. That might be true. But you can't escape the fact that the rest of us see you as kind, responsible, and honorable. The weight of your gifts is heavy, but don't let it bring you down. Callan Smith. Cal, you're simply amazing. Incessantly curious, wanting to know and understand more, but always undergirded by the desire to help others, and you back it up with the ability to execute. Thank you for helping us to be our best. Cameron Jarvandi. Cameron, even before all the cool stuff like the Richmond Foreign Scholars and the Aver Health Adventures, You know I've always thought of you as a man, strong, solid, and on the path to something cool. Thanks for letting me come along. Jack Pusser, you are a man ahead of your time. You are an old soul. I feel like I'm talking to a peer with you. Your intense service and leadership, both inside and particularly outside of the school, reveals you as a man of purpose, and we're grateful for all you've given us. Maria Fabiato, you came here with many goals, because that's the kind of person you are, but with one in particular, which you pursued mercilessly, all the while never sacrificing honor, friendship, and loyalty. You are remarkable. Emma Connolly, in addition to being my tennis-watching buddy, you've distinguished yourself by rising to be both an organizer and a leader in every area in which you've participated here. Thank you for joining us. Grayson Rose, you are an upright person. You seek truth, and you do your utmost to practice what you believe. Through that, your work ethic is unbeatable, and you lead by example. Everyone who has worked with you is better for it. Grace Qualiano. Quali, I remember meeting you on the colonnade for the first time after a volleyball practice, and it felt like we'd always known each other and that you'd been a lifelong Spartan. I've really appreciated your perceptive sense of humor, but even more so your intellectual rigor and demanding curiosity. Michael Shalifo. Shally, no matter where you are or what you're doing, you are the center of that spirit. Now I'm going there. So I remember after the final soccer game, you moved me to tears. I was okay with the loss, but I wasn't okay with watching you and the rest of the fellas deal with that. Anyways, thank you for bringing that spirit to me. Danielle David, your achievement orientation and humility guarantee you will finish college as much more than Bree's driver. Whatever you set, that's a joke for their family. Whatever you set your mind to, you will accomplish. Thank you for all you've done. Harrison Woodley, in my office, I still have your graphic design in which a cityscape is mirrored both above and below itself. In this upside-down time, I love it more than ever. Thank you for always being a source of positivity, beauty in the form of your art, and kindness at all turns. Jack Grady. Jack, your closest friends knew it all along, but you let your secret out of the bag during your senior speech. You are hilarious, creative, fun, and giving, and it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you. Leah Weinstock. Leah, I've always loved being around you because you always make me laugh, even when you're too tired to get up. But as a person, you are not frivolous. We are in debt to you for your belief in and action around social justice. Thank you for bringing your full humanity to Steward. Julia Monroe. Nothing has given me more pleasure than watching you rip balls at opponents and dismantling them, with the exception of you finally getting the state championship you deserved. The other thing for which I'm grateful is your decision to stay. I think it's been a win for us all. Peyton Chaffee, you are fierce, funny, and kind. I wouldn't want to face you down, and I'd always want to be by your side. Peyton, you embody resilience in a way that we can all admire and learn from. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us. Harrison Clifton. Harrison, despite the through threads of kindness, thoughtfulness, and faith-based ethics, I've never seen a transformation as significant as the one between your junior and senior year, in which you truly became a man, able to navigate the world and fully answer the challenges to which you have been called. Egan Gutenberger, and he came out of nowhere. You were a latecomer to the school, Egan, but you are definitely one of us. You don't choose the expected path, and you are true to yourself and your passions. Thank you for sharing your kindness and humor with us. Nate Lather. Nate, you've done a lot of everything the last 4 years, which you described, some true and some false, and you defy expectations. The expectations you always meet, however, are kindness and care for others. And with that backdrop, you continue to follow your passions. Thank you for finding so many here. Hannah Frank. Hannah, what a pleasure it has been to be your father. Wait. That was a joke. There was a beat. Can't hear through the masks. I know that's what's happening. I believe, Hannah, that you will always choose the right hard thing over the easy. You are a true humanitarian through and through, and we look forward to seeing how you change the world, which you surely will. Gracie McLaughlin. We're so grateful for the authentic beauty of the art that you've created and shared with us all these years, and for the presence you bring to us. Bright and thoughtful, and while fun-loving, also a dependable and loyal friend. Cece Lee. Cece, international students have always had a special place in my heart. You've given up everything, including time with your family, to be here with us, especially today, and to share your talents. In a very short time, you have become beloved by all the students and all the faculty. Thank you for making the sacrifice to be here. Allison Langberg is not here also, but she is an exceptionally gifted writer, a deep and passionate thinker, a world-class athlete, and a compassionate family member and friend. I thank her for sharing these past 4 years with us. Griffin Amix. I'm going to miss talking with your brother, your dad, and your grandfather, and I'm going to miss your YouTube videos. In all honesty, I'm grateful to you for modeling your love of family and your extended definition of family, which I believe includes all of us. Emery Sutton, who also couldn't make it today. I remember meeting Emery for the first time one day in Ms. Olaf's office, and honestly, I was kind of testing her to see if she was really ready for the challenge. She has passed that test every day since I've known her. There is no challenge to which she is not equal. There is nothing at which she cannot succeed. Marky Carnes. Mark, over the years, you've been told that you're an inspiration to others, but impressing others is not your animating drive. Being right-minded, determined, and goal-driven are always front and center for you, and inspiring others is a byproduct of this. I hope that you've gotten something from your time here, because you have given us and me more than we and I can describe. Michael Stein. Mike, thank you for bringing us your commitment to social justice, your desire for open, critical conversation, your good humor at all times, and for sharing with us a senior speech so insightful and beautiful that it brought me to tears. Matthew Cantor. Mac, I've known many Renaissance men over the years, but I've never known one who performed each of his passions at such a high level, seemingly with so little stress. Thank you for contributing to so many areas of school life. Michael Magnano. Mike, you're a natural leader and people are drawn to you, but I'm most impressed by how you handle the things that don't come easily to you. I respect the way you manage disagreement and defend the ideas in which you believe, and I'm deeply impressed by your positive attitude after your injury, which has magically seemingly disappeared. Joe Shia. Joe, there's something wonderfully wide-eyed about you in the best possible sense. Your natural curiosity, propensity to laugh, and love of your family come through at all times. That you share with us, that you share this with us, makes us better people. Thank you. Crary Moore. Crary, when I watch you run the floor on the court, I see your enthusiasm and leadership. When I remember the walkout you led, I see your commitment to social justice and what is right. And when I see you on the stage, I see you fully embrace the experience of being in another's shoes. Thank you for creating so much for others. Linda Ceballos. Linda, you are a member of a family whom I hold dear. But graduation. But what stands out to me the most is the leadership I see from you every summer in the LEAP program, where I believe you are a model of what is possible, what can be, to each of the students from all across the city. Thank you. Carter Hogan. Carter, you've been here since kindergarten, and in that time, we've learned not only that we can depend on you, but that you will see things through to the end, whether it's a foot race, lacrosse game, or a military event, you will be there for others and do it well. Thank you. Harrison Johnson. Harrison, you're the salt of the earth. There are no wasted words with you, only the things that matter for real. Nature and the outdoors, baseball, your family, and the people that you love. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. Efton Reed. F, our time has been shorter than I wished, but you have always raised your own game and the game of everybody around you. I cannot imagine the pressure you have been under for the past 2 years, and I give you tremendous credit for weathering it with grace, patience, and respect for everyone. We wish you the best of luck. Elliot Tolchinsky. Elliot, knowing you and your family has reminded me of how lucky we all are. Lucky to have such a beautiful campus in the company of these incredible people. And lucky to have you among us, Elliot, to help us think more deeply, be more inquisitive about others, and to work to make a difference in the world. Thank you. Trevor Mace. Trev, your reserve hides your depths. We appreciate your worldliness from all your travel, the depth of your hard work on the field, and your ability to manage multiple areas of accountability as you pursue the things about which you are most passionate. Dabney Leverty. Your accomplishments, Dab, are many. Your service to others is abundant. Your voice is strong, but your abiding characteristic, I believe, is grit. You speak your mind, you are unafraid, and you do not let things hold you down or hold you back. Thank you for bringing that to us. Sydney Johnson. Sid, it can't all be easy for you, but I've never seen you not smile or be full of spirit. Whether making an announcement for the team, or wielding the cheer stick before a swim meet, or playing bass on stage in the old days, you put it out there so others can come along and feel good. Thank you. Jonathan Cabetti. I love people who are so much more than just one thing. You have 3 languages, including Amharic. You are an artist, an athlete, an avid reader, dedicated to your family and traditions, a musician, and a future investor. I hope you will always continue to be so multifaceted. Matt Lane. Matt, you've done incredible things in the classroom, in the arts, and in running, but I feel you've only just laid down the base, and the best is yet to come. You do, as you remind us, contain multitudes, and I look forward to those being revealed to the world and shared back with us. Thomas Halsey. Thomas, you have a well-defined sense of what is right, and you are willing to stand up for it. Likewise, you understand where you should be and who you should surround yourself with. We are glad it was us. Matt Gaither. Matt, last year could have affected you in many ways, but here's what didn't stop after Shepherd Stadium. You didn't stop trying, or learning, or getting better, or being a friend, or being a mentor. Thank you for all the gifts you have given us. Michael Zuccaro. Zuck, I once asked you if there was ever anything you had tried at which you did not succeed. We both agreed the answer was no. I think the success is attributed to your hard work, determination, and reflection. You always want to do better. Thank you for always modeling that. Bree David. Bree, you're kind, adventurous, indomitable. You take that which challenges you and makes you feel uncomfortable. Cross country, opposing teams, Danielle, and you turn them into positives. See, I came back with another joke for both of you. That's the way we should all live. Thank you for sharing that with us. Sonali Sanjay. Is there anything you cannot do? I have been consistently amazed by both your compassion and your intellect. Your insights, in fact, about the Steward School have made me double down on my own commitment, and that is true. And through my mail-in ballot, I have already voted for you for president. Anna Capeless. Everything you do smacks of courage and determination. Destroying people on the court, scuba diving, travel, and making the choice to come to Steward. Thank you for making a change in your life and making us better in the process. Griffin Robeson. You are the most self-possessed intellectual I've ever met, and it gives you all the more power. You can get along with anybody, and you can listen, at least for some time, to an opposing idea. Thank you for being our goalkeeper and our go-to philosopher. Landon Douglas, who I am so happy to see today. Landon, you understand that quiet and reserve are a form of power. The depths of your knowledge, passion, and talent do not need to be on the table, visible to all. They are your private well from which you draw as needed. Thank you for allowing us to see you better. Kendall Seamus, I hope that no one else in the history of time will ever again have to plan for conducting dance and theater auditions for college with an orthopedic boot on. That you did is a testament to your inner will, love of the performing arts, and desire to fully dedicate yourself to that which is in front of you. Sachin Sanjay. Sach, I've told you and your parents that I firmly believe you are going to be an enormous success in the business world. You have both the intellect and more so the ability to compete and fight. You settle for nothing but the best in yourself and your teams. Thank you for all you have done for us. Elliot French, L. At 12, most competitive tennis players have been ranked for years. This is when you really started to compete. Your determination to succeed in tennis, in music, in friendship, and in being a good son and brother is one of your finest attributes, one on which you will draw your whole life. Alex Kite. Alex, we've often talked about your utter joy in being able to come to Steward. You have not missed a beat. You have not missed a note. You have not squandered an opportunity, and you have given us way more than I'm sure we gave you. Thank you. Olivia Kerner. Livy, there's nothing you cannot do, and you do it all with enthusiasm, kindness, and humility. You are as strong in school as you are on the field, and as giving to your friend as to the communities you serve. Thank you for giving us a lifetime of your genuine talents. Noah Nichols. Wake up, Noah. There you are. Noah, let's set swimming aside for the moment. Don't care about it. What you model for all of us, I think, is your joie de vivre. You live with as much joy and laughter as possible at all times. And your mutual affection with Mr. Hop, and this is not a joke, this is serious, your mutual affection with Mr. Hop might be the most affecting example of that. Thank you for everything, Noah. Nick Bright, who I also believe is not here. Nick is fearless in the way he lives his life and unbreakable in his commitment to follow his own path. It's not just that he thinks differently and that he does things his own way. It's that he fully embraces who he is, and that is incredibly admirable. Caroline Maslow. As a great climber, many of your achievements, including your entrepreneurial side, are invisible during the school day, but the qualities of your personhood are always there for us to see. Thoughtfulness, loyalty, friendship, and care. Thank you. Scotty Gilg. Tennis, of course, diving, admissions ambassador, honor council, SCA, Girl Scout, Gold Award, academic, volunteer, Martha and Frank's daughter, Debbie's niece. The gifts you have given us are endless. Thank you. Anna Kilduff. Thanks for letting us watch you grow up here. Of all your talents, it's your work with the Special Olympics that is truly inspiring. Your ability to organize, lead, and speak publicly have all been amazing. Thank you for keeping that alive and thriving here. Liam Boardman. Liam, sometimes lucky things happen, and I'll never forget and will always be grateful for our ride back home from downtown and how open and honest you were with me. I consider it a gift, and I wish you nothing but continued good luck. Jamie Biggs. This is the last one, by the way. Jamie, the number of interests, passions, and true talents you have is exceeded only by what I believe is your true purpose-driven desire to help others. All the hard work, all the determination is part of the path leading you to that future outcome, and I'm grateful you have let us help along the way. Normally, I would play 5 seconds of a song here, but I just couldn't make my program work, so I'll go to the end. So now, though it's 6 weeks late, you are in your future. Back in March, in those first weeks that we couldn't be together, I called on each of you to be leaders, and you answered. So remember, you lead people, not things. You must listen and understand their different and unique motivations, purposes, and expectations. And remember, too, no one leads into the past. You are leading us into the future and therefore into the unknown. This time we have all lived through has taught you many things about yourself and about others. And for that reason, though you may not have asked for it again, you are now called to leadership, to teach and support those who follow behind you. So in a few minutes, you will cross this stage to receive your diploma, and then you will take another step forward into that unknown. May you dance your vision into the world for all to see. So, in a second, we're going to move on with the program, but I want to do a little bit of unplanned activity. You notice that you are sitting on 275 chairs on a lawn, spaced 6 feet apart. You notice that there is a giant dais and flowers and a stage and a program and a script and speakers, and it's all pretty actually cool, especially given where we are. And I can tell you, as I do every year, that the moment we finish this graduation today, 6 weeks late, we will start planning for next year's graduation. This is an all-year planning event. There are lots of people involved, Dr. Seldis, the whole upper school admin team. There are a lot of people involved, but there's some really, really special people. And I just want to acknowledge them because they've made this happen. They did not ask for the heat, but they made everything else happen. So I want to thank Mr. McAllister for putting the band together. You didn't need to do that, but we totally appreciate it. Come up afterwards and get it. No, come up afterwards and get your gift. I'm just proving that I actually have gifts, because otherwise no one would believe me. I'd like to thank Nan Semmelman for being an incredible events coordinator for us. Thank you, Nan. I want to thank my very special buddy, but also a very special buddy to everybody else on campus, Stephanie Boland, who managed all the details, the script, and everything else that you see. Thank you, Steph. And last but not least, for her second name check of the day, I'd like to thank Ms. Healy for her help with graduation, our lives, and everything she does for all of us. Okay, so we're about to present the diplomas. And it's the time that you've been waiting for. At Steward, we also have a special tradition for some of our seniors. Family members of a senior who are an alumni or alumnus of the school, or who serve as a faculty or staff member, or a current or past member of our Board of Trustees or Foundation Board of Directors, have the opportunity to present the diploma to their senior. We are so pleased that these parents can participate in the diploma presentations with us today. Now, in a normal year, we would have rehearsed this ceremony with our graduates ahead of time. I hope you'll give us a few extra minutes to provide instructions as we move through this part of the program. Seniors, I will call you up in 4 groups. When I call your group, please go to the sidewalk on your side of the lawn, and the junior marshal and faculty will direct you. Please come up to the stairs when your name is called and pick up your diploma from the table. Stand on the X in front of the podium, we all know what an X looks like, for a picture, and then continue across the stage to the opposite stairs. You will wait on the opposite sidewalk until your group is finished, and then return to your seat. If you are a parent presenting a diploma, please line up with your senior. You will come on stage with them, hand them their diploma, and remember to pause for a picture standing on the X. Please watch your step on the stairs and stepping across the cord. There is one cord in the center of the stage. Junior Marshal, would you please usher the first group of graduates forward, students with the names Aldridge through David. Aldridge through David. Do whatever you got to do. We're on a hot mic. We're making jokes about how hot it is up here. Okay, let's begin. Carolyn Ann Aldridge. Jabari Alexander Atkinson. James Lewis Biggs. Liam Allen Boardman. Matthew Alex Cantor. Anna Holt Capeless. Mark Wendell Carnes, Jr. Linda Stephanie Ceballos. Michael Andrew Chalafoux. Peyton Jean Chaffee. William Harrison Clifton. Markayla J. Coles. Emma Grace Connolly. Daniel Brian Corcoran. James Birch Cox with his mother Violet. Brianna Matson David. Danielle Elizabeth David. Students, you may find your seats. Junior Marshall, would you please usher the next group of graduates forward? Students with the names Douglas through Johnson. Douglas through Johnson. I'll go back and then I'll do it for you. I'm sure you all remember the part where I said we had not rehearsed this. I have the full list of seniors' names in front of me, and I believe I'm in error, and I did not read the names of the students who couldn't be here, but I want to read their names now and acknowledge them, and then I will, moving forward, read all the names, so we'll have some breaks in between actual diplomas. The folks in that last group who could not be here today were Griffin Michael Amix, Jonathan Hunt Ball, Nicholas Clifton Lee Bright, Landon Hudson Douglas, Cortland Reed Dranoff, William Scott Iben, not here today, Eric Harrison Engelke. Maria Isabel Fabiato. Charles Childrey Fowler, Jr. Hannah Ridgway Frank. Elliot Forrest French with his parents Larry and Lisa. Matthew Brian Gaither. Elizabeth Scott Scotty Gilg. John Corbin Grady. Egan John Gutenberger. Thomas Ellis Halsey. Carter Thomas Morgan Hogan. Virginia Gaylord Hopper. Zachary Heath Humphreys. Cameron B. Jarvandi. James Harrison Johnson. Sydney Palmer Johnson. Students over here, you may leave the comfort of the shade and find your seats. We will now move to the other side of the lawn. Seniors, when your group is called, please line up on your side of the lawn, and the junior marshal and faculty will help you get lined up. You will come up the side of the stairs here. Don't forget to pause for a picture on the X, and please watch your step. Junior marshal, would you please usher the next group of graduates forward, students with the names Karam through Qualiano. I need something to wipe the sweat away, Ms. Healy. Okay. Noreen Emma Karam. Didn't open it for me. Jonathan Theodros Kabetti. Alexander Logan Kite. Anna Riley Kilduff and her mother Lee. Olivia Ryan Kerner. William Matthew Lane and his father Bill. Not here today, Allison Marie Langenberg. Nathan Alexander Lather. Dabney Lane Leverty. Siying Lee. Michael Thomas Magnano. Trevor Lance Mace and his mother Diane. Gracie Elkins McLaughlin. Julia Brooke Monroe. Virginia Crary Moore and her mother Ingrid. Caroline Grace Maslow. Noah Prescott Nichols. John Samuel Pettigrew Pusser. Grace Elena Qualiano. Students here, you may find your seats. Junior Marshal, would you please usher the next group of students forward, students with the names Reman through Zucaro. Syed Zed Rehman. Efton Junius Reed III. Anna Reese Richardson. Griffin Brink Robeson. Grayson Bishop Rose. Sachin Sanjay. Sonali Sanjay. Joseph Richard Shaya. Kendall Nicole Seamus. Callan James Smith and his mother Sydney. Michael Liam Stein. Not able to make it today, Emery Anissa Sutton. Elliot Samuel Tolchinsky. Leah Brooke Weinstock. Alexandra Phoenix Wilkerson and her mother Jen. Henry Harrison Woodley. Michael Liam Zuccaro.
Well, that went a little bit smoother than we anticipated. On behalf of the faculty, the administration, Board of Trustees, I'd like to thank the families and friends of our graduates gathered here today, and for those watching at home to recognize the wonderful class of 2020. We are so proud of you, class of 2020, both for what you have achieved and for who you have become. You have left an indelible mark on the Steward School, as I know the Steward School has left an indelible mark on you. Graduates, a few final reminders. There should be a bag of confetti under each of your chairs, and we hope you will toss it with great spirit in a few minutes when your diplomas are conferred by Mr. Frank. When you leave today, please wear your face masks. And as you walk back towards your parking lot, there will be a small gift for you to pick up on your way out. Thank you, and I'm pleased to turn over the program to Mr. Frank.
I am about to confer your diplomas, and it's getting very hot out here, and we are ready. I, G. Daniel Frank, head of school, do hereby certify that these seniors have met all of the graduation requirements set forth by the Steward School. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare the class of 2020 to be graduates of the Steward School.